What's going on, everyone? In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to walk you through my investor strategy for decentralized finance, which is currently producing between 50 and 100% returns per year, plus the asset appreciation. That's right, the 50 to 100% per year is simply from the yield generated and does not include the asset appreciation of those crypto assets that you're holding long term. All right, I'm going to try to make this as short and concise and informative as possible. Let me share my screen and we're going to dig right in. First of all, let me be really clear straight from the get-go what this is not, just so there's no misunderstandings. This is not crypto mining. I get it. People make money doing that. That's not what this is. This is not day trading or leveraged trading where you have to spend 3 to 4 hours per day staring at charts. Again, it is a legitimate way to make money in decentralized finance. It's just not what we're doing here. This is not 100x moonshots. I'm sure you've seen a lot of this hype all over the internet. Oh, 50x, oh, 100x, look at this. I made 1,000 times my money in only 30 days. Okay, that's not what this is. Those are super high risk, very volatile. I'm talking about a legitimate approach where you invest in blue chip crypto assets that are actually contributing to the infrastructure of the emerging technology that is decentralized finance. And finally, this is not ROI dApps, right? Decentralized apps, meaning some people come at you and say, hey, we've got the one trading platform, our proprietary system. All you have to do is contribute Bitcoin or USDT to our platform. We'll hold it for you. No. That's not what this is. None of these things. And by the way, we're talking about self-custody here, meaning you are in control of your assets at all times. And that is an important distinction, especially with all the silly scammers that are out there right now trying to capitalize on the popularity of cryptocurrency investing. All right. Instead, in a nutshell, and I'll explain all of this as we go, in a nutshell, this is true DeFi, meaning you are getting rewarded for providing value to the DeFi ecosystem. So this is the same methodology that we teach our members in the Mastermind, like Casey, who ended up with around 30% return in just his first month, and that was only from the trading fee income, the yield that he produced. That doesn't even account for the long-term asset appreciation because he's still holding on to those assets. It's the same method that Jacob used, and he's just saying, hey, this is amazing. I'm in profit. I'm accumulating on a daily basis. Great choice into the Mastermind. And this is what Robert is using. And I like to highlight the quick wins because this method, it works immediately. You don't have to wait 2 years to see any sort of return. And he's just sharing one of his wins in the past 9 hours, what he made from his initial investment. And the daily APR that he got out of that is just crazy, meaning that in 9 hours, he made some incredible returns just from one investment as he was getting started. And then it's also what Eric used to get 17% gains in just his first 2 weeks in the methodology. Now, I don't want to misrepresent here. This is not only a short-term mindset. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's the patient investor, long-term investor methodology. But in light of the big picture and long term, it does start working and generating yield for you immediately from day one, meaning as soon as you get started, you are going to see positive returns right away. And the best part is, regardless of whether the charts are going up, the charts are going down, or sideways in the short term, you are accumulating yield or trading fee income straight out of the get-go, meaning it's a cash flow positive methodology. So what is it exactly? I'm going to walk you through broad strokes, like the big picture strategic method here. And then later on, we'll get kind of more nitty gritty in the nuts and bolts and how it works and all that good stuff. So first of all, the first box here, P stands for primary assets, meaning these are the blue chip crypto assets that you are currently holding. You might be holding nothing right now. That's okay. Or you might already have some cryptocurrency that you're holding unpaired in maybe a centralized exchange, maybe a DeFi wallet like MetaMask or Phantom Wallet or something like that. The point is, these are the assets that you're already planning on holding long-term anyway. So what we do is we pair those together and we create what we call an LP token, which means you become a liquidity provider. What does that mean? Well, every day, millions and millions of swaps are happening online, people trading one asset for the other, and that asset traded back for a different one. And every time a trade happens, it's necessary that there is a liquidity pool to facilitate that transaction. When that transaction occurs, there is, of course, a small transaction fee associated with that. And the cool thing about this method is that you get paid a portion of those transaction fees because you are a liquidity provider. That's what I mean when I say you are providing value to the decentralized finance ecosystem. So by providing value, by allowing that decentralized exchange platform to even operate safely and efficiently in the first place, they are going to give you a reward. That reward is a yield. Now, here's where it gets a little more nuanced. Most people, if they're new to this, they'll take the yield, sell it, cash out right away, and go, cool, that was a great yield. Thanks, everybody. I had a good time. Instead, we're saying, let's play the patient game. Yes, the yield happens immediately, but let's play the long-term patient investor game. And rather than just selling that outright for a quick buck, we're going to take that yield and put it in another single staked environment to generate even more profits. Okay. Then we can take those and compound that either back into the original LP, which the liquidity pool that you're being a provider to, or the other option is we can create a nice little what we call moon bag of other blue chip crypto assets that we anticipate will significantly appreciate in value over the course of this bull run that we are in the middle of right now. Meaning you can take your gains and rather than selling them for immediate profit, you can hold on to them. They will appreciate even more in value. And then your effective rate could be even more than 50 to 100% per year. Okay. So we've got a couple of things here. Primary assets leads into secondary assets. That's the yield or the product that you're receiving, again, in exchange for the value that you're providing. And then we take those and earn additional assets on top of it. And then we can either compound this way, or we can compound over here by anticipating appreciation of those assets in the midst of this bull run environment. Now, you're probably thinking, all right, sounds good. I kind of get it. I'm still not clear on the nuts and bolts and how to actually do it. That's okay for now. This is a big picture perspective. And a lot of what we do in the mastermind is kind of walking you through in a one-on-one coaching context how to do this so that you're clicking on the right buttons, you're staying safe, you're maintaining self-custody, and ultimately staying in profit. What's the return? The return is, on average, 50% to 100% per year. And that is just, and this is an important distinction, that is just the yield. So consider this. Even if all of your assets over the course of a bull run did nothing, even if they didn't gain any value or lose any value long-term, they just kind of went up and down and sideways, ultimately sideways, you would still earn 50 to 100% per year on average, just from generating trading fee income, just from your efforts by being a liquidity provider to the ecosystem of decentralized finance. So this does not include the appreciation of those base assets that if you're already holding them, it's likely that you would have enjoyed some level of appreciation over time of those assets anyway. We're just saying, hey, let's be strategic about that to maximize that side of things. And let's add another 50 to 100% per year on average. And again, it's the same thing that all our investors in the mastermind are currently doing, which, by the way, at the time of this recording, there are over 150 people inside of the mastermind. I'm just showing you a couple of quick highlights here of a few folks and the results that they've been getting. Like Paul here, he's saying, hey, I've seen a 27% gain. But then when you factor in everything, the gain is closer to 38% and loving the patient investor approach. Okay. And this is also, this particular individual didn't want their identity shared, but that's okay. They achieved a 43% gain in only the first 30 days. Now, does that mean that they're going to get a 43% every 30 days? Not necessarily, it's possible, but you got to consider even if all you got was a fraction of this, 10% a month on average, you're still looking at 120% per year. And that's just in yield. That's just the trading fee income. We haven't even added in the total big picture yet. And then this one, just to highlight, hey, thanks for the guidance. I can see now like how this is going to work long term, my life, my options, my legacy. Super grateful for the experience. And I'm saying this is only the beginning. And for you, this could likely be only the beginning where you jump in and you start investing in something that's brand new to you, but that other people are enjoying incredible returns on already. And by the way, we're still very, very early in this game. You are not too late, but couple years from now, it might be too late to enjoy the same level of returns that we're experiencing right now. And then W here, William, and he was just kind of sharing with me a screenshot of some of the results that he's gotten again early on in his journey. And it's a 5% return just trading fees in 7 days and a 14.5% total return in the same time frame and a 393% APR. Now, again, this is just trading fees in the first 7 days. That's a 5% return in 7 days. Meaning, if he continues at that pace, which he's not setting an aggressive pace here, he would be getting about, let's say, a 15 to 20% return over the course of just his first month. So you can see that there's a variety of results, meaning it kind of depends on which assets you choose and the timing of the market and all that good stuff. But if you're landing between 10 and 30% per month, that is an insane return. You think about traditional finance where, hey, if you're getting 8 to 10% per year on average, you're a savvy investor. And we're talking about condensing that into a month and getting these kinds of incredible returns that the Mastermind members are getting. Okay. So just to quickly recap, the yield plus the appreciation, and you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Brandon, what's next? What do I do now? This, like, it sounds like a really cool opportunity, but like, how do I get involved? How do I start investing? And there's a couple of steps here that I want to just outline for you. Number one is the application. Okay. So if you would like to take a look at what it is to be in the mastermind, fill out the application. Let me show you real quick what that looks like. Here's the page you'll land on. And it kind of walks you through, hey, yield farming 15 minutes per day, super easy, super straightforward, little description about me and my story and my family. And then down here, you'll find the application. Okay, super critical. You fill this out in depth so we can get to know you a little bit before we even jump on a call and chat about like explaining how the process works in a little more detail. So your first name, last name, all this good stuff, Facebook profile link if you're on Facebook. Go ahead and drop that there. I love to connect with people personally on Facebook. You'll get a message from me directly, from me personally. What do you do for work? And just some minimum requirements here. And tell us a little bit about your biggest investment goal over the next 90 days, because we'll outline a plan for you of how you can hit that goal over the course of the next 90 days, but also ultimately how you can hit that big picture long-term goal. Okay. Now, after that, we're going to send you an FAQ, frequently asked questions. Okay. And that's why this bit about email follow-up is so critical. We are going to follow up with you via email to say, hey, here's the frequently asked questions. Here's the more information. You're probably thinking, hey, I need a little bit more information, Brandon. Yeah, exactly. I know. We've prepared all that ahead of time. So we're going to email that directly to you, and just make sure you check your spam folder because, hey, in this day and age, if I've never emailed you before, sometimes Google or Yahoo or whatever your email provider is, they'll just automatically filter that into the spam folder because they don't recognize that I've emailed you before, which is fine. So just double check the spam folder, make sure that you're receiving our emails. You'll get a follow-up of the FAQ, but also a follow-up with information about the link for our Zoom chat. Okay, so we'll meet on a video conference like this. I like to meet people face to face, okay, rather than just being a stranger on the internet. Like, I'm a real person, you're a real person, so let's actually meet each other. And then I'll send you the FAQ. The FAQ page, here's what that looks like. Frequently asked questions. You're going to see the mastermind strategy overview right here. And then just a couple of questions that I get from nearly everybody who is applying and considering to join the mastermind. What's the ROI? What's the return on investment? And I kind of highlighted a little bit of that here today, but I'm going to walk you in depth what it is, how it works, and dig a little bit deeper into the mechanism of yield farming. Because the biggest question related to that is, hey, where the heck does this yield come from in the first place? Is this money out of thin air? And the short answer is no, it's not. And that's a legitimate question because in crypto, a lot of people are promising money out of thin air. This is you getting compensated for providing value to an existing ecosystem, meaning you're giving a little, you're receiving a little in return, and the yield comes from trading fees that are being generated by that service. So it's a legitimate way to earn yield as opposed to the money out of thin air in crypto. That is often the case, unfortunately. And then finally, what are the risks? Obviously, there's risks. Okay, this is investing. Nothing's guaranteed in this market or the real estate market or the stock market. Nothing's guaranteed ever. It's a market. Okay, things go up and down and sideways all the time. That's just what markets do. But it's healthy to acknowledge the risks and also to understand what they are and how they might influence some of your decisions when it comes to getting involved in this process. Okay, and then down below a few testimonials from people that are already in the group and what they are saying about the process. And then finally, after that, hey, it's you got to meet our team. All right. If you're going to apply and we're going to work together, especially over the course of the long haul in a one-to-one context and a group context, we want to get to know you a little bit beforehand to make sure that it's a good fit on both sides. So you fill out the application, take a look at the email, check your spam folder, visit the FAQ page, take a look at those videos just so you're well informed before we jump on the call. And then you're going to meet someone from our team. It might be me or it might be one of my other coaches or advisors. Whatever the case, they're going to answer some questions and they're going to ask you some questions just so we can kind of determine, hey, what are your goals? Does this strategy actually mesh with you? Does it vibe with you and your goals? And just setting like realistic expectations for how the whole process will go in the long run. All right. So that's it. If you're ready to take that next step, go ahead and click that link below. You'll be redirected to the application page. Fill that out all the way. You'll get the additional information to answer most of your questions. And then if you have a few lingering leftover questions, we can handle those on the call with our team. Okay. That's it for today. I'm looking forward to chatting with you here real soon and helping you take your investment strategy to the next level so you don't have to wallow in 8 to 10% per year on average, and you can rather enjoy in the world of decentralized finance, which is this incredible emerging technology and emerging ecosystem, so that you can enjoy 50 to 100% per year on average just from your yield, just from the trading fee income, as well as additional gains from the long-term asset appreciation of the cryptocurrency assets that you hold. All right. So click that button, fill out the application, and we'll see you soon.